Police deployed to halt cult group. Call for fast tracking of nurse station issue. And boxing gold medalist makes a comeback.
This is National MTV News with Helen Seah.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Wednesday's news. A strong team of policemen from the Northern Command have been deployed to Mibu in the rugged terrains of Raikos District, Medang, to flush out a cult group. 12 members of the cult group are said to be terrorizing villages for some time now. Provincial Police Commander, Acting Superintendent Rubian Mansuk, said the armed men kidnap villagers and hold them hostage for ransom. When their demands are not met, they inflict harm, even rape and death to the hostages.
This is Mimbu village where the 21-man team arrived to start the operation 2 weeks ago. Behind these rugged mountains, the cult group is said to be hiding out and plotting their activities. According to information police gathered on the ground, these men who call themselves Etwara, they commit brutal acts on helpless villages. They then demand ransom from their relatives. If their demands are not met, they kill, rape and destroy properties. According to police intelligence received as of last night, the gang has split up and is operating in a number of groups. But police say they are closing in on the group. Provincial Police Commander Acting Superintendent Rubian Manju says missionaries who were here in the district had fled because of the criminal activities by the cult group. Police had deployed personnel through the support of the Medang provincial government, Manalos Aviation Limited in Ley, while New Tribes missionaries had deposited 60,000 kina for chopper hire. The communities are fed up with the cult group and are cooperating with police to hunt down these men. Martha Lewis, National MTV News, Raikos.
A boat carrying 35 passengers capsized near the mouth of Mura River about half a kilometre away from Kerema Bay. The passengers were travelling to Kerema town to do business when the boat capsized. The incident happened over the weekend and is said to be caused by rough seas. According to Mamuro village chief Richard Panama, many of the passengers were from the highlands of Gulf province, therefore could not swim. Some held on to containers to stay afloat. A search party was conducted by relatives when the news of the incident broke out. A total of 10 bodies, including 3 infants, were recovered and taken to the Kerema General Hospital morgue. The skipper, believed to be a young and inexperienced dinghy operator, is currently on the run and police are appealing to him to surrender. Meanwhile, the Gulf Provincial Disaster Office and police personnel are yet to comment on this matter. A recent joint operation in West New Britain has seen goods and other items confiscated and destroyed. The goods were seized from businesses in Talasia, Kimbe, Mosa, Hoskins, Seneca and East Nakanai. Officers say the items include cosmetics, food, cooking utensils and clothes. They were taken to Warrastone and destroyed due to non-compliance of PNG health laws.
Coming a lot of categories. 1, expired goods. 2, dented products. 3, labeling requirement. 4, with the Chinese written language. Labeling requirement meaning foreign language, but suppose nutrition fixed blame talk English about it, but otherwise so it's in a foreign language, and
those penalties were imposed under respective agencies, like the penalty were imposed under the Health, Provincial Department of Health, and Customs and ICCC. So the provincial officers, they enforce those laws. But our lead agencies,
when they are captured in the IRC tax net, they are also required to pay the fair amount of tax, which IRC will be monitoring through IRC control system by laws that are administered by IRC. Income Tax Act, so as the GST Act, we will be administrating the particular tax accounts, and we will be advising the taxpayers to pay the taxes when it is due.
While Christmas is a jolly time, the reality for many Papua New Guineans is that the year is ending and the new year will come with new challenges. For students in tertiary schools, the high cost of tuition fee is one of those challenges. But for 11 top students studying pharmacy at the University of Papua New Guinea's medical faculty, CPL has stepped in to shoulder that burden.
I see this scholarship as a great opportunity in developing the future pharmacists of this country.
It's a relief to the burden that we face every year regarding school fees. So.
Most of our students, we have been struggling with the tuition fee. Since we came to university, so like Noxie said, it is a relief for us and our guardians too.
These are the 3 of the 11 students who will benefit from a CPL tuition fee scholarship next year.
What happened was back in 2020 when we celebrated our 33 years anniversary, and we were thinking, what can we do to mark that event? And me being a pharmacist, that's how I graduated, and I said, why don't we create pharmacy scholarships? Because there is a shortage of pharmacists in this country and has been for a long time. The number of graduates coming out is just not keeping up with the population growth.
The presentation and announcement of the scholarship was done today at the medical faculty.
A lot of our students, they have the brains to come to as far as School of Medicine and Health Sciences, but the fact is they are struggling to pay for scholarship because their parents are subsistence farmer. Most of them, they are subsistence farmer. They are in the village and they struggle to find funds.
The University of Papua New Guinea has graduated many pharmacists over the years and many started their career with CPL. Sam Mahesh said while they are happy to employ many pharmacists and train them, he challenges the student to explore opportunities of setting up pharmacies back home.
What my challenge to the pharmacists is graduate and you can either join the hospitals for hospital pharmacies or you could go into research. But if you want to go into retail, we talk about SMEs and business startups, we are a perfect training ground.
Sam Mahesh said CPL will continue to assist the student until he or she graduates, but only if the student continues to maintain the required GPA.
We're all selected on merits, so we'll see the students right through to graduation. So if you're in year 2, you go through year 3, 4 and finish off. So we'll be continuous, provided they hit the academic qualifications. And that is why it was important to get the faculty involved in assessing the grades and all that.
Dissemination of scholarship will help develop the workforce that is needed for these pharmacists to go down to health center level, sub-health centers and provincial hospital to distribute these medicine supplies to all the people in PNG.
These are the first 11 students. The target is to sponsor 33 students over the years. Shamin Poriambeb, National EMTV News.
The Catholic Bishops' Conference of PNG and Solomon Islands describes this Christmas as the one of tears and hope. General Secretary Father Giorgio Licini says chaos in Honiara, Solomon Islands, sorcery, accusation, violence in PNG, including COVID-19, still remain despite the achievements this year.
The Catholic Bishops' Conference of PNG and Solomon Islands remembers the recent protest and looting in Honiara heading into the Christmas celebration.
Unrest in Honiara in November, in the capital city of the Solomon Islands, when a peaceful demonstration against the government descended into chaos and into destruction and looting, to the point that the government had to call in outsiders, to police forces from neighboring countries, to help handle the situation.
The church describes the festive season as one of tears and hope. It highlights the many challenges PNG faced this year.
Another big issue of concern, and we saw many cases and that many reports this year, refers to facts, especially in the highlands of Papua New Guinea, related to sorcerer accusation-related violence, several cases of women and children accused and tortured and at times even killed because of these beliefs and these practices.
The CBC is asking its faithful to pray for peace this festive season.
Preserve the spiritual dimension of the Christmas and see the need for sympathy and solidarity towards many people and groups who are in a difficult situation.
The Catholic Church, which has the biggest following in PNG, is expected to see many followers attend church on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day Mass this year compared to the strict COVID-19 restrictions last year, keeping celebrations at home. Bradley Valenaki, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. We'll have more stories after these short messages. Stay with us. Welcome back. Health Minister Jelta Wong said he has advised the Health Secretary to ensure the legal matters for nurse stations throughout the country are sorted out immediately so that nurse stations are reopened. This comes after massive public outcry to keep the nurse stations open, among them the Governor for East Sepik, Alan Bird.
Governor for East Sepik, Alan Bird, has joined many Papua New Guineans calling for nurse stations operated by pharmacies to remain open.
There's really no need to just cancel them just like that. We may have an argument that, the service is not up to standard, but then, there are many areas of the health provision that we have in the country that is not up to not up to standards either. So I think that distinction needs to be made.
2 weeks has lapsed since the Health Secretary released a circular calling on all retail pharmacies throughout the country to shut down nurse stations they operate. This is because it is against the law, the Medical and Cosmetics Act 1999. Health Minister Jelta Wong told MTV News yesterday he has advised the Health Secretary, Dr. Osborne Liko, to have the matter sorted out immediately so that nurse stations can reopen. He said the nurse stations can reopen but must follow the law. Meanwhile, founder of City Pharmacy Limited Group, the largest retail pharmacy company in PNG, Sir Mahesh Patel, says there is no clarity in the law.
Because there's so much lack of clarity in the Act. We have taken legal advice and we'll be writing to the department because the clarity is not there.
CPL is also still waiting for the Health Department to convene a meeting to address all the legal issues.
The only way to solve this is for all the stakeholders to sit in one room, the medical board, the pharmacy board, if need be the nursing association, or whoever is involved, sit in the one room and find a solution as a way forward. Find the process to say, I have got legal advice, we've not broken any rules. So that's an absolute fact of law. But, we don't want to go down the path of legal challenge. All we're doing is paying legal fees unnecessarily. It's a matter of just common sense approach. Let's sit down, work out what the process is, what are the do's and don'ts, and follow through.
Amidst the pandemic and a fragmented health system, many Papua New Guineans like Governor Bird have all used nurse stations for convenience. Like him, many say the nurse stations must not be closed but properly regulated.
Nursing stations have worked really well for people who don't have the money or the time to sit at the main hospitals for a long time waiting for service. But more than that, whatever the issues that NDOH has with them, the fact that they've been operating for a while is really an indication that people find the service useful. So what they should have done was, if there's a compliance issue or if they need to improve the standards of the service, then I think NDOH should have just gone ahead and made sure that, they set the standards and request that the pharmacies meet those standards.
Shawin Poriambab, National EMTV News.
West New Britain will soon see the construction of its first SME incubation centre in Kimbe. The incubation centre will become a stop and shop for SMEs and relevant government agencies to provide services to aspiring SMEs. West New Britain provincial government presented $1 million counter funding to begin construction work.
West New Britain provincial government is partnering with Small Medium Enterprise Corporation to deliver this project. An agreement was signed with the 1 million kina funding presented. The chairman of Economic Services believes it will help the ambitious SMEs in the province to grow.
All practices will me must right. And then give me enough long come up long slack and map. Me believe government and me creating plenty of opportunity for this. And me put them some money to bank stuff. Long you me can go and access him. Now you mean running more legal businesses below you mean?
SMAC Chairman John Pora said this is an opportunity for the people of West New Britain. He says the incubation centre will provide relevant support to SMEs. These include agencies like IPA, IRC, Customs and Nakia who will be based in the incubation centre. Pora challenged local businessmen and women.
We will evolve and grow together, but we will succeed. Through our failures, all of us will succeed. And we are not afraid to fail. This is our time now. This is the time Papua New Guineans stand up.
Jacob Building Contractors will be responsible to build a business incubation centre. Work is expected to start in January 2022.
To counterpart the activities of this project. So, the contribution, we are really serious. And just share this land here, people are pretty up.
Jack Lapawa Jr., National EMTV News.
The Dubaraedibana clan representatives have raised concerns over the Manuti land in the 7 Mile area of the nation's capital. According to the representatives, the clan has been without a proper incorporated land group or ILG for the past 4 years due to the previous ILG chairman misappropriating massive land without the clan's consent.
These representatives of the Dubaraedibana clan are putting hands together as a sign to stop people from illegally settling at their customary land around 7 Mile.
And we believe that while the court order is going on, certain members of the clan have gone ahead without the clan's consent, without the clan's waiting, without approval. When the ILG is not in place, they've illegally gone into deals with certain members of the public and sold most of our land, especially at Manuti land, without the clan's approval.
The landowners say they want to save and develop their own land, but the matter is before court and is awaiting a decision for a legal incorporated land group. The landowners claim the state has acquired the land illegally and they want to know how it was gained.
But when we want to go into our land, somebody's already there. And who put them there? We want to know. This is political games going on now. Am I right? So I want those members who are coming in saying those lands belong to them to tell us properly how did they acquire that land so that we will know.
Dubaraedibana clan is a clan made up of 4 family heads and other customary landowners of the Manuti land near Jackson's airport. With the recent eviction of settlers from Garden Hills in the nation's capital, they are afraid the state might relocate the displaced settlers on their only land.
The particular case is Manuti. Manuti is our land that we were trying to save for our clan. All our lands has been stolen away from us. Saivara and all the 9 Mile cemetery and all those years that belong to the Dubaraedibana clan. But see, we are not gaining anything from those lands. That is why we want to save Manuti for ourselves.
On a similar matter, the group is appealing to the elites in all Motu Koitabu villages to stand together and stop the selling of customary land.
Therefore, we are calling upon all our elites, especially from Tubus area right up to Forever, all our elites, all the lawyers, all the engineers, all the survey line, the church people, to raise up and stand together and say no to the current government, current NCDC governor, for our political members not to touch Motu Koitabu land.
Because if they go, we're selling our own rights. And people are way down the track. They will have section, lots, number water, good services going. While we are like beggars on our own land.
Podivai National EMTV News.
The Como Youth for Change Association Inc. recently hosted a youth development forum in Como, Hala Province with the theme Salvation Through Suffering. The forum aims to address issues affecting youths in the province.
The one-day forum saw youth groups from the 3 districts of Hala Province in attendance. Representatives from United Nations, ExxonMobil, community leaders, church leaders and public servants also participated in the forum. They held discussions on various topics to help address issues affecting youths in the province. Some issues discussed includes youth unemployment, SMEs skills training, sports, among others. Hala Province over the years have been known for continuous tribal warfare. This tribal warfare have affected the people, mostly youths in the province. However, the youths have surrendered their guns and are calling for peace. And the Youth Development Forum is the first of its kind to be held in the province. Speaking to the youths, a representative from UNFPA encouraged youths to be agents of change. He says there are plans to provide youths with necessary skills and opportunities to reach their full potential. Grassroots Peace Building Action Team Coordinator Mapera Angu spoke on the need to empower youths with leadership skills to drive change in their community. Como Youth for Change Chairman Maurice Edwin thanked all participants who attended the forum. He says the youths will now have better understanding to make their own decision and mediate peace in their community and province. Rayon Lakingu National, EMTV News.
Small to medium businesses in the Mosby Northeast electorate have been challenged to use the seed capital and grow their businesses. Mosby Northeast MP John Kaupa made this remark while distributing nearly 1.5 million kina yesterday at Manuti. Kaupa described the funding as a key policy to assist households during the pandemic and tough economic times.
Grassroots leader MP John Kaupa was with the function of his people yesterday to disperse 1.5 million kina as SME seed capital to established groups, cooperatives and individuals. Speaking yesterday, he described the SME policy as a tool to support households. He says it's not free money but a capital to support SMEs.
You've serious to drive this SME, to drive this micro SME, to drive your trade store, to drive your activities, whatever you are doing, so that one fine day, you suspending livelihood in the city, one fine day, you become a businessman Mary.
The Mosby Northeast District is the only active district rolling out government's SME policy. So far, 20,000 individuals and groups are involved. Mosby Northeast Holdings is where the money will be parked for organizations to access.
Me plug you plug money. You plug him working like business. You plug go saving money, kissing money belong buy more cargo or like something go working work. Back in dinner, you plug go time you finish him, you can some second, third loan. Me plug still start backside for you, and then by me plug me loan. Narpla level go narpla level go narpla level. Suppose you think of some you na you go na you swipe na keke finish you go. MU out now.
A check of $500,000 was also presented to NDB with similar funding to Microbank, BSP and MiBank for groups to access. The district has now linked its people with necessary requirements for people to access funding and support the type of SMEs.
This the money, government put him in government bank, I'm supposed to look at the middle of the public. You man marry, you lose no good, you high no good. I'm not counting this land. You like all a bank, you like money in bank, suppose use it. Life law, you can change, you can become a businessman marry in the country.
Individuals, groups, societies, men and women in business were also funded depending on the type of business they run. And for the very first time, the district has also captured people living with special needs who are opting to do small businesses. A key requirement is financial literacy, which the district has been hosting for participants. This is the third batch.
During the financial literacy program, a lot of you learned about pricing. You learned about cost. You learned about what SME is and non-SME is. You have come a long way.
Jack Lopava Jr., National EMTV News.
And now looking at the NASFund market report, the kina closed unchanged at $0.2850 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina is buying $0.2775 $0.3866 Australian dollars, $0.2382 euro, and 30.94 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed lower, copper and cocoa closed higher. Crude oil is trading higher, palm oil and copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National EMTV News continues with more stories after these messages. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the news. The Political Party Policies Seminar Series concluded yesterday with a summary of all the sessions done by moderator Dr. Lawrence Sauce. The seminar addressed some issues that still need to be sorted out, such as changing the mindset of the wider public to start voting along political party lines and not individual candidates.
The seminar series on political party policies hosted by the National Research Institute concluded yesterday with a summary of the policies and challenges faced by political parties in Papua New Guinea.
Main objectives of the political parties policies seminar series is to strengthen the political party system through making awareness of the party background and philosophies, their vision and mission statement.
While 25 political parties out of the 52 presented their policies and answered questions, it showed not all of them were prepared for the coming elections.
One of the things that came out very clearly is that most political parties are not really prepared for the national general election for 2022 in terms of their plans in contesting the election and winning the election.
Dr. Lawrence Sauce, Deputy Executive Dean, School of Business and Public Policy at the University of Papua New Guinea, was the moderator of the 6-week seminar. He said political parties need to be institutionalized and parties needed to promote their policies across the wider population.
We need to institutionalize political parties. That's the reason why I mentioned to you that it's very important that political parties should cease from just making your presence known during the election or eve of the election.
While what he said was true, some of the political parties say not all the people of this country understand the importance of political parties and their plight to gain much needed membership and influence the voter behavior.
Our people lack political education because when political party officials go there to do outreach, to do membership drive in any odd time, our people tend to say that early campaign, not time for campaigning. So how do we differentiate political parties and the election?
A healthy, resilient democracy is based on inclusiveness, which political parties and representative institutions are in a key position to safeguard. People need to understand that political parties form governments.
We have had that culture that is built up over time, using money politics, kinship, connection, patron-client relationship, cargo. What we need to do somehow is to work, and it won't be overnight, on a long period of time to try and build back and bring back the party to be. After all, when you go in government, it's political parties that form government.
The Registry of Political Parties are committed to support this seminar series for a few more sessions in future.
I think in early next year, there will be a similar seminar series, will be hosted by NRI, and we'll all invite the parliamentary leaders.
The National Research Institute are also committed to making sure the seminar series continues.
This series that has gone through, and others, some parties that are here would know that NRI has assisted in their policies when Dr. Gelu and Okola were here. NRI had a part in assisting in writing the policies, or not writing the policies, but giving them advice.
Fidelis Sukina, National EMTV News.
Total Energies and Marketing recently opened a new service station at Boroko in the nation's capital. The service station was built in partnership with Brown Bell Group of companies and a local SME. This is the 11th service station owned by Total in NCD and the 13th in the country.
The newly established state-of-the-art service station is a milestone achievement for Total. Located in Boroko, the service station was built in partnership with Brown Bell Group of companies. It was officially opened for business yesterday.
So as you can see, this station is what we call a state-of-the-art service station, bringing to the PNG customers what we are offering worldwide, meaning not only fuel with a reliable and efficient service, but also the shops.
Which shows that Total Energy is close to the people, close to the customers. And also this is very important to me as an ambassador to notice that PNG is very linked to Total Energy and has linked to its economic destiny and development.
This is one of the 11 service stations owned by Total in the nation's capital. This makes a total of 13 service stations owned by Total in the country, including 2 service stations in Ley Morobe province. And it is one of the biggest service stations in the country. Apart from selling fuel, the service station also provides a mini-mart, car wash and a car repair shop. The service station will be managed by Kiso Holdings Limited, a local SME.
This service station is managed by our PNG partner, Mr. Dixon, and he has been employing 22 staff, 22 young staff, but we are training with our local PNG marketing staff.
I know the business climate and many economic factors are not right this moment, but wherever we are, in whatever engagement we are involved in, any opportunity that comes our way, we should grab it and we should move on. And for us, we want to take this time to thank Total Energies for giving us the opportunity to do business and grow with them.
With the opening of the new service station, the Brown Bell Group CEO acknowledged their partnership with Total to build this service station and their plans to partner with more stakeholders in development and providing job opportunities for PNG citizens.
I think, this is a great example of really good partnerships, and Total have other partnerships in place in Papua New Guinea. We know that they're a trusted organisation. We've been in Papua New Guinea ourselves for 63 years. We're always looking for good partners. And ultimately, this is a great partnership for us in Boroko. We'll look for other opportunities in PNG with Total Energy, but also with other partners.
Rayon Lakingu National, EMTV News.
Chukai Sports is next. All the details after the break.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. Charlie Kiama, PNG Gold Medalist in the flyweight division, recently made his comeback at his home village of Eboa in Mekeo, Central Province, during the Amateur National Boxing Championships hosted by his village. He won the gold medal in the flyweight category.
Games champion, Commonwealth Games representative.
The recently concluded National Amateur Boxing Championships in Eboa, Mekeo, Kairukuhiri District, Central Province, proved that boxing in that part of the country was vibrant and of good standard. Local boxing PNG representative Charlie Kiama made his return at Eboa village after a 3-year hiatus after the Pacific Games in Samoa.
My last fight, I went to Samoa Pacific Games. I won gold medal, and I came 2019, I national champion in both Mosby. I defend my title, and I lay off 3 years. Now 2021, national championship in my village. So I hope I'll continue with my training towards that Commonwealth Games.
Despite Charlie being one of the more elite amateur boxers to take part in the National Amateur Boxing Championships in his home village of Eboa, he did miss other elite boxers from outside centers of the country who couldn't make it to the championships.
Yeah, some people, good people, boxers, that's all. Some people, provincial no count, especially my teammates in city. NCD and Bougainville, they are not here, but I hopefully in some events will take part with my teammates and we'll see how good we'll go.
Mekeo had over 200 boxers take part in the national championships and is a hub for PNG's representative boxers. And Charlie Kema says it's the most popular sport in the area.
Yeah, lo saib lo Mekeo. Boxing and people are something all youths sama mas lo take part. Nah, some plenty of youths all like representing team PNG tasol or good lo boxer stuff so but all work lo training strong lo. We need more like senior players.
Charlie Kema has an impressive resume as a Team PNG amateur boxer at the Pacific Games and Commonwealth level, even the Oceania Championships, and he hopes he can maintain a good form before the Commonwealth Games next year, where he will take part in the flyweight division.
Age below me, I'm 26. Now, international bouts, Oceania and 3 times gold medalist and 3 Pacific Games and mini games.
Fidelis Sukina, Trukai Sports.
And then on Trukai Sports, the weather details coming up next.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
A look at the weather forecast in the southern region. Fine, although cloudy in Port Moresby and Nauru, and cloudy with a few showers in Kerema, Alatau and Papandita.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
And that's been the news, sport and weather for Wednesday, 22nd December 2021. Until next time, have a pleasant evening and good night.